Hello gainers, welcome to my channel called Fitter Philosophy. I'm Ralphie, the host, and I give some basic experience-based stoic sort of anecdotes and advice. This is what my channel's all about, and my particular video today is recollections and reminiscences, that's the right word, of situations I came across in the past, individuals, and how, as part of my job as an undertaker in Glasgow in the 1990s, I saw into people's lives, and I saw how, whilst some people made a great success of their lives, and not necessarily all about the money, it's rarely about that, just successful, well-lived lives, there were other people who were their own worst enemy, frankly. And this is what this particular video is about. A character called Albert. And Albert he claimed a family man, but he couldn't stand his family. And it was his nature to criticise and hector his family, because he believed that giving too many compliments would make them weak. So he spent his life doing this. It was first of all his brothers and sisters, and then moving on a generation, it was his wife, and then her family, the rest of his family, and then the children got it. Eventually, the grandchildren, I think they were the first that kind of really sussed him out. Because they called him Grumpy Grandpa, and he focused on the negative. There's no point in paying a compliment when you can fire off an insult. There's no point in being positive to someone when there's more entertainment being negative about it. But the problem Albert faced was times were changing, the world around him was changing, but he wasn't changing with it. He was stuck in the past. He institutionalized his life in his own negativity, and as time went on, his sense of balance and perspective diminished because he's getting older, he's getting more out of touch, and he became less inhibited in the negative and venomous nature of his put-downs and insults. And the consequence was that slowly, and it's often the case, gainers, that someone will not lose friends immediately, but over time, barriers are created and they compound. They have that compounding effect. And this is what happened to Albert. And he got to the stage where he was quite isolated from everybody around him and blamed them instead of examining himself. And then he lived alone once his wife had passed away, who was a very stabilising influence in her life. And without her, his life was destabilised further. His negativity basically exploded. It multiplied substantially. He became more reclusive because what few friends he had, he soon lost or outlived. And he ended up that he was coming into his life where he didn't have debt, he had relatively good health, because he was not a smoker, he wasn't a drinker, he didn't believe in spending the money, and he had time. So when we get older, you see, we have these perfect coordinates that we can actually spend more time with life, getting to know life on our own terms. But he missed that because of his increasingly internal referencing of his negativity and it basically turned into open self-hostility. The reason I knew about it was because I'm an undertaker. And when he died, it was family and friends, and we pieced it all together from listening to different people and listening to the funeral eulogy, which was remarkably honest, because it wasn't a religious ceremony, it was a humanist ceremony. And the family found it very refreshing and cathartic to hear of his life as they found him. Miserable, negative, judgmental, critical, unpleasant, nasty, yeah. And frankly, with very little to show for it. Of course he went for his holidays. He went to Spain for his holidays. He got out and about a bit, but it was completely within his own bubble, and therefore he never had to leave the sanctuary of his own misery and negativity. And when one reflects on the life that Albert led, one can only end up asking, what was the damn point? What was the point? He wasn't a stupid man, not by the sounds of it, but he had no interests. He just watched television, took the dog for a walk, and as one of the family mentioned, she, after his funeral said, this is a great relief for the dog, because at least the dog can have a happier life now. And what a way to be remembered. Quite extraordinary, but these people, trust me, these people are out there, and if you haven't really met them, you will. Just keep looking, and when you are looking at the people around you, in the world around you, look a bit closer. Make a bit more time to look at these people, because there's two types of people in this world who inspire us. The positive people who inspire us to do things, and the negative people who inspire us to avoid things, lest we suffer the same consequence that they experience in their lives. There you go.